Your heart is pounding, but your hands are steady. Your world is chaos, but your mind is an unshakable fortress. This isn't a fantasy. This is the deepest version of you waiting to be unlocked. Imagine being able to stay calm and steady while stuck in a traffic jam that stealing precious time from your life during a tough conversation with your boss that feels like it could define your entire career, or even while facing a major personal crisis that threatens to shake the very foundation of who you are. Imagine handling all of life's curveballs, the betrayal, the rejection, the sudden loss, without feeling that familiar, terrifying pressure building in your chest, without feeling like you're about to explode or collapse into a million pieces. Let that sink in. That kind of inner strength is not about pretending everything is fine. It's not about shoving your feelings down until you become numb. You feel it, don't you? That old way doesn't work. It leaves you hollow. It's about learning how to master the storm inside, to manage yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, even when everything around you feels overwhelming, chaotic, and utterly, completely messy. The truth is, life is brutally, beautifully unpredictable. No matter how well we plan, no matter how hard we try to build a perfect, secure life, there will always be forces we can't command. The weather will ruin your perfectly laid plans. People you trust will disappoint you. Work situations will change without warning, leaving you scrambling. Accidents will happen. Think about that. If we spend our entire lives screaming, fighting, and resisting all these uncontrollable things, we'll only end up exhausted, anxious, and permanently frustrated, a ship forever battling the ocean itself. But here is your lifeline, the most important shift you will ever make. You don't have to live that way. When you finally shift your focus away from trying to control the uncontrollable and instead pour every ounce of your energy into what you can control, your mindset, your choices, your attitude, your actions, you will taste a new kind of freedom. Feel that shift? Life stops being a constant, exhausting battle and starts becoming a challenge you are prepared to meet. You start building real, lasting, unbreakable strength from the inside out. You realize the profound truth. While you can't control the wind, you can always adjust your sails. You can't stop the storm, but you get to choose how you dance in the rain or how you stand firm within it. In this journey, we're going to explore life-changing lessons that will forge that strength within you. Lessons to keep you calm under pressure, unbreakable through hard times, and the master of your emotions when it matters most. These aren't just tips. They are timeless truths. They're the fundamental rules of being human, of navigating this beautiful, messy life with a little more grace and a lot more power. This is where it begins. Lesson 1. Focus on what you can control. This is one of the biggest secrets to finding a peace that nothing can shatter. It's about learning, with razor clarity, what's truly up to you and what was never yours to carry. Think about it. You can't control how other people treat you. You can't control whether someone likes you, respects you, or sees your worth. You can't control if a flight gets delayed, if a friend cancels plans last minute, or if a company decides to downsize and your job is on the line. Those things are outside your reach. No amount of worry, no amount of frantic energy will change them. But you can control how you respond. You can control your attitude, whether you face it with defeat or with dignity. You can control your words, whether they spread poison or offer grace. You can control your actions, whether you retreat or rebuild. You can control how you show up in the world, how much effort you put in, how kind you are, even when you're hurting, how you speak to yourself in the quiet moments, how you choose to move forward when everything in you wants to quit. Imagine you're an archer aiming at a target. You practice your form for 1,000 hours. You steady your breath until it's a silent whisper. You focus your eyes until the world disappears and only the bullseye remains. You pull back the string, feeling the immense potential energy, and you release. You do everything right, everything. But once the arrow leaves your bow, a sudden gust of wind could change its path. A bird might fly by. The ground could shift slightly under your feet. You can't control what happens once the arrow is in the air. All you can control is the skill, the focus, and the absolute integrity you put into the shot. You feel it, don't you? That's how life works. You do your best. You prepare. You show up. You give your absolute all. And then you must let go of obsessing over the final result. You trust you know that whatever happens, you'll be able to handle it. You'll adapt. You'll adjust. You'll keep going. When you finally live this way, you stop wasting your precious life force, your spirit, worrying about things you were never meant to control. Instead, you pour that sacred energy into the things you can actually shape. Your character, your growth, your impact. And that is where real power begins. But this is only the first step. Because what happens when life doesn't just throw you a curveball, but knocks the very ground out from under you? What do you do when acceptance is your only path to survival? That's where we're going next, and it's the part most people get terribly, tragically wrong. So, where do we find steady ground when the world is shaking? Lesson 2. The power of acceptance. Not passive resignation, but fierce, clear-eyed acceptance. Another vital key to staying steady in a storm is learning to practice this art of surrender to what is. Life is always changing. It's a river, constantly flowing. Sometimes you're floating in calm, sun-drenched waters. You land the dream job. The relationship feels like a fortress. Your dreams seem so close you can almost touch them. And other times, life knocks the wind out of you. It hits you in the gut when you least expect it. Plans you built for months shatter in an instant. People you thought would be there forever walk away. Sickness hits, mistakes happen, big, costly, painful mistakes. Ask yourself, have you been fighting this reality? There is no way to stop life from being life. No matter how smart you are, how hardworking, how good-hearted, the ups and downs are not a mistake in the system. They are the system. Fighting reality doesn't change reality. It only changes you. It turns you bitter. It drains your light. Getting angry at the rain won't dry you off. It just makes you a wet, angry person. Wishing a breakup hadn't happened won't undo the heartbreak. It just prolongs the agony. Think about that. Arguing with the truth only adds another layer of pain on top of the original wound. So what is acceptance, really? It means looking at what's in front of you, the good, the bad, the ugly, the unbearable. And instead of screaming, "Why me?" you take a deep, shuddering breath and you say, "Okay, this is where I am. This is the new reality. What can I do next?" It's not about giving up. It's not about letting people walk all over you. It's not some spiritual bypass where you pretend you don't care. It's about saving your energy, your precious, life-giving energy, for the things that are actually worth it. The things you can influence, the things you can build, the things you can heal. Imagine a ship captain trying to sail against a raging river current. He could stand on the deck, fists clenched, yelling at the water. He could shake his fist at the sky and blame the weather. He could waste his voice, wishing the river would just flow the other way. You know this feeling, right? That futile fight? Or he could accept the current. He could adjust his sails. He could chart a new course and work with the river instead of against it. Acceptance is about adjusting your sails. It's about understanding that you can't always control the current, but you always control how you move through it. When you finally accept what you cannot change, a huge invisible weight lifts off your shoulders. You feel it immediately. You stop carrying the crushing burden of should have, could have, and if only. You stop exhausting yourself fighting battles that were never yours to win. And in that sacred, quiet space, you find peace. You find resilience. You find the ability to move forward with clear eyes and an open heart, even when life looks nothing like the plan. When we talk about acceptance, it's a lot like setting sail on the ocean of life without needing a strict destination, but instead having a deep, unwavering trust in the journey itself. It's about letting go of the need to control every wave, every gust of wind, every unexpected storm. It's about moving with life's changes instead of being broken by them. Acceptance asks us to stop wasting our fuel, our spirit, on trying to force things to be a certain way, and instead invites us to open up, to adapt, to trust that even though we don't control everything, we can handle whatever comes. Life doesn't always play the songs we want to hear. Sometimes the rhythm is smooth and peaceful, and sometimes it's chaotic and wild, crashing against you. But no matter what the music sounds like, we keep dancing. We learn to adjust, to bend without breaking, to flow with the beat of life, whether it feels easy or challenging. Acceptance isn't about giving up or becoming passive. It's about facing reality, honestly and rawly, and choosing to work with it, not against it. Think about it. It's about realizing that the storms, the surprises, the sudden changes are not interruptions to your life. They are your life. Acceptance builds true inner strength, the kind that doesn't disappear when things get messy. It helps us savor the good times without clinging too tightly and endure the hard times without losing hope. It teaches us to meet every situation, whether joyful or painful, with steady hands and an open heart. When we embrace what we cannot control, we find a peace that doesn't depend on everything going our way. Instead, it comes from trusting ourselves to navigate whatever the journey brings. And if this is speaking to you, if this is hitting a nerve, you need to be here for the whole journey. This is where we build that unshakable core together. But acceptance alone isn't enough. You have to be present to wield it. This leads us to the next anchor in the storm, mindfulness. Mindfulness is another essential piece of staying grounded. It's the simple but profoundly powerful practice of living fully in the moment you're in, right here, right now, in a world where it's so easy to get caught in the ghost of regrets about the past or the phantom of anxieties about the future. Mindfulness acts like an anchor pulling us back to what's real, what's solid right now. It's about noticing the little things so you don't miss the big picture. The way the sun feels on your skin after a week of rain, the sound of your own breathing, a rhythm of life you carry everywhere, the taste of your morning coffee. It's the understanding that life isn't happening yesterday and it's not happening tomorrow. Ask yourself, where are you right now? Are you here or are you lost in your head? When we get trapped in our minds, replaying our greatest mistakes on a loop or fearing what's to come, we miss out on the only thing we truly have, this present moment. Mindfulness doesn't mean you ignore your problems or pretend everything's perfect. It means you face what's in front of you, fully awake, fully present, without adding layers of unnecessary worry or regret. It teaches us to appreciate the ordinary moments, the small miracles that happen every day. A kind word from a stranger, one deep cleansing breath, a quiet sunset that asks for nothing in return. Mindfulness frees us from the endless, exhausting loops of anxiety and overthinking, giving us a clear space inside where peace can finally grow. It reminds us that no matter how busy or chaotic life gets, we can always return to the simple, radical act of being here now and find immense strength in that simplicity. You feel that, don't you? The power of just being here. But what about when being present is painful? When the moment itself is the storm? That's where we need more than presence. We need resilience. Resilience is another pillar of inner strength, and it's built not by avoiding hardship, but by facing it head-on and growing stronger because of it. Life will never be free of challenges. Everyone faces setbacks, heartbreaks, and unexpected difficulties. But resilience is what turns those struggles into stepping stones rather than stopping points. Adversity isn't there to crush you, it's there to shape you, to carve out deeper strength, deeper wisdom, and a deeper, unyielding belief in yourself. Think of resilience like the roots of a great oak tree. A tree that grows in a greenhouse, in calm, easy conditions, might look strong on the outside, tall, green, perfect. But the first major storm could topple it. Its roots are shallow. Now think about your own life. Where have you been growing in a greenhouse? A tree that faces winds, storms, and tough conditions, on the other hand, is forced to dig deeper. It develops a root system that is vast, strong, and interwoven, holding it steady no matter what the sky throws at it. That's what life's challenges do for us. They test us, yes, but they also teach us, refine us, and prepare us for what's ahead in a way that comfort never ever could. Resilience doesn't mean you never fall down. It means you get back up again, and again, and again. Each time a little wiser, a little tougher, a little more sure of your own strength. It's the understanding that while you may not control every event that happens to you, you always control how you respond. You can choose to be bitter, or you can choose to be better. You can choose to see challenges as unfair burdens, or you can see them as invitations to grow. Resilience is built in the small, everyday choices. Choosing courage over fear, choosing hope over despair, choosing to believe in yourself even when all the evidence seems to be against you. Every time you make one of those choices, you're strengthening your foundation, building a kind of quiet, unshakable power inside you, the kind that can carry you through anything life throws your way. It's not the challenges themselves that decide how we feel inside, but the way we look at them, the meaning we give to them. Building resilience means changing the way we think about hardship. It means understanding that adversity isn't a punishment or a personal failure, but a teacher. Hardships aren't here to crush us or humiliate us. They're here to toughen us up, to help us grow in ways comfort never could. Every difficulty we face, every unexpected problem, every loss, every disappointment is a chance to strengthen parts of ourselves that might have remained weak if life had stayed easy. We don't discover the limits of our strength in times of calm. We discover it when we are tested, when everything seems to be falling apart, and yet we find a way. We take one more breath. We take one more step. It's through facing life's obstacles with courage and determination that we transform. We don't come out unchanged. We come out stronger, like steel, tempered and refined in the fire. Life's struggles are not there to define us as victims. They are there to shape us into people who can weather any storm. Resilience is not about pretending everything is fine when it's not, and it's not about never feeling pain or doubt. It's about facing the pain, feeling the doubt, and deciding to keep standing anyway. It's about holding on to your center even when the ground beneath you seems to crumble. It's about keeping your eyes forward even when the storm clouds gather so thick you can see the sun. What truly matters in life isn't what happens to us, it's what we choose to do with it. But this leads to the most important question of all, the one that everything else hinges on. What happens when that choice is taken from you, or when you feel too broken to make it? And that leads us naturally into one of the greatest powers we possess, the one thing no one can ever take from you, the ability to choose your response, no matter what's happening around you. Think about that for a second. Let it land. This is your superpower. You might not control the people around you, their moods, their loyalty, their actions. You might not control the obstacles that land in your path, like fallen trees or the unexpected sharp turns your life takes. But you do control how you meet them. You control the weather inside your own mind. You control whether you face difficulties with bitterness or with a grace that surprises even you. Whether you react out of raw, panicked fear or respond with a wisdom that comes from a deeper place. Whether you get swept away by the tidal wave of anger, or whether you find that still, steady center inside yourself and refuse to be moved. You know this choice, don't you? You felt it in the moment before you speak, before you act. Every single moment you are given a chance to choose, a chance to rewrite your own code, to choose patience over impatience, to choose forgiveness over the sweet, slow poison of resentment, to choose effort over surrender to defeat, to choose love over fear. Your responses are not just reactions, they are the steering wheel of your life. No matter how rough the road gets, no matter how thick the fog, if you hold that wheel firmly in your hands, if you stay deliberate in how you move forward, you can still choose the direction of your heart, your mind, and your spirit. In every challenge, you are given the blank page to write your story, not based on what happened to you, but based on what you decided to do about it. Life will bring storms. That is inevitable. The sky will darken. The winds will howl. But you get to choose whether you are the leaf, tossed helplessly, desperately by the winds, or the captain who feels the storm, respects its power, but adjusts the sails, tightens their grip, and keeps pressing forward into the heart of it. The stronger your choices, the stronger your inner world becomes, until even chaos can't shake you from your foundation. And if this is resonating with you, if you're feeling that pull toward your own captaincy, we're building an armada of the unshakable here. But while we are often focused on responding well to problems and difficulties, there is another, quieter threat that can disturb our inner peace just as much. It's more insidious than any external crisis, our own endless, hungry desires. That's why another major key to lasting calm is learning to limit the excessive wants that constantly tug at us from every direction. The world today is louder and busier than it's ever been. It's a carnival of advertisements, social pressures, and endless brutal comparisons, all screaming at you that you need more. More money, more status, more followers, more possessions, more achievements to be happy, fulfilled, and finally, worthy. Ask yourself, when has the chase ever truly ended? When did you get the thing and finally feel done? The truth is, chasing endless desires is like chasing the horizon. It's a phantom, a mirage. No matter how far you run, how fast you sprint, you'll never reach it. Every time you get one thing, your mind, like a clever addict, immediately finds the next missing piece, the next source of lack. The cycle never stops. It only accelerates, unless you consciously, courageously step out of it. True contentment doesn't come from adding more to your life. It comes from the profound, liberating realization of how little you actually need to be genuinely, deeply happy. Limiting your desires is like pulling yourself out of a raging, chaotic river and finally standing on solid ground. You are no longer dragged along by every fleeting craving, by every shiny new thing that promises happiness, but never, ever delivers. Instead, you get to stop. You get to breathe. You get to savor and appreciate what you already have. The simple, beautiful, eternal things. Your health, your relationships, the quiet moments of a morning alone. Your personal growth, the ability to give and receive love, the chance to make a difference, however small. When you simplify your desires, life stops feeling like a frantic, desperate race you can never win, and starts feeling like a steady, fulfilling walk toward deeper meaning. You stop being a prisoner to the mantra of more, 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 and you start being free to enjoy the treasures that were already within your reach. It's not about denying yourself joy or living without dreams. It's about making sure that what you reach for truly nourishes your soul, not just your ego. When you strip away the unnecessary and focus with laser intensity on what truly matters, you create a calm, steady joy inside yourself that isn't at the mercy of every external change. And in that simplicity, that focus, that gratitude, you find a strength and peace that no outside event can ever take from you. Within the deeper layers of wisdom, we find this profound truth. Chasing after external rewards, wealth, fame, possessions, is like chasing a mirage across a desert. No matter how much we run, no matter how hard we chase, it slips further away. And even if we do manage to grasp it, we often find it hollow, fleeting, deeply unsatisfying. You've felt that emptiness, haven't you? After the achievement high fades, true treasures are not found out there somewhere. They are buried inside us, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be nurtured. Real peace, real happiness, real strength. These are not handed to us by the world. They are built from within, patiently, brick by brick, through the choices we make and the character we consciously shape. The path to real calm is not paved by getting everything we want. It's forged by mastering ourselves, by understanding and tempering our desires, by learning to find contentment in simplicity and joy in things that no outside force can ever take away. This leads naturally to another essential truth. If you want a life that feels steady and fulfilling, you have to commit yourself to living with virtue. Living well isn't about luck, wealth, or recognition. It's about choosing to build your life around values that are bigger than your own comfort and momentary pleasure. Virtue becomes the compass that steers you through the storms of life, helping you make decisions that lead to real inner stability. Virtue means striving to live with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. Imagine them as four pillars holding up your inner temple. Wisdom lights the way. It's the quiet voice that helps you see things clearly without being fooled by shiny appearances, without chasing after what's shallow or temporary. It teaches you to understand the deeper meaning behind events and to recognize what truly matters in the long run. Wisdom is the foundation that gives all your other choices strength and clarity. Courage stands guard over your heart. It's what pushes you to face difficulties instead of running from them. Courage isn't about never feeling fear. It's about feeling the fear, the cold, tight grip in your chest, and choosing to act anyway. It's about standing firm when the easy, seductive way out would be to give up or back down. Without courage, all the good intentions in the world remain just ideas, gathering dust. With courage, we turn our values into actions. We become living, breathing examples of our principles. Justice reminds us that life isn't only about ourselves. It calls us to treat others fairly, to act with kindness and integrity even when no one is watching, to contribute to something bigger than just our own desires. A life lived with justice creates a deeper, more resonant peace inside because we know we are living in alignment with what's right, even when it's the harder path. And then there's self-control, temperance, the steady hand that keeps our impulses from ruling over us. It's the muscle you build when you say no to the third drink, to the pointless argument, to the impulsive buy that will clutter your life and your mind. It's the reminder that not every craving needs to be followed. Not every emotion needs to be acted upon. Not every moment of desire deserves our surrender. Through temperance, we learn to say no to the things that would pull us away from our deeper goals. We simplify our lives not out of scarcity, but out of wisdom, knowing that true happiness doesn't come from indulging every want, but from mastering ourselves and choosing a simpler, freer way of living. These values, wisdom, courage, justice, temperance, when practiced day after day, even imperfectly, slowly shape a life that feels solid and meaningful. They form the bedrock on which calmness is built. They help us stay steady even when everything around us feels chaotic or uncertain. By anchoring our lives to these deeper truths, we create a kind of strength that doesn't shake with every passing storm. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and pressure to chase after fleeting things, these values shine like a guiding star, helping us steer a course towards something lasting and real. And tied closely to all of this is the ultimate liberating and sometimes terrifying understanding. Everything in life, everything we have, everything we experience is temporary. Nothing stays the same forever. The truth that life is constantly changing isn't something to fear or mourn. It's something that can bring us immense strength if we accept it fully. Everything that comes into our lives, the moments of pure joy, the seasons of struggle, the people we meet, all of it is here for a time, a season, a reason, and then it moves on. Just like the seasons change without apology, just like rivers flow to the sea, life itself is a dance of constant, inevitable movement. When we resist this reality, when we cling to what was, we suffer needlessly. We are the child trying to hold onto the river, but when we accept it, when we make peace with the ebb and flow, we find a freedom that few people ever experience. We stop clutching so tightly. We stop fighting the natural, beautiful, painful course of life. Instead, we learn to savor what we have while it's here. To love deeply, to live fully, to act with meaning, knowing that every moment is a precious, non-refundable gift. Understanding the transitory nature of life teaches us to live with greater gratitude, greater humility, and greater presence. It reminds us to stop waiting for some perfect future, to begin living, and to start embracing the life that's happening right now. This sunrise, this conversation, this challenge, this victory. None of it is guaranteed tomorrow. And rather than making life feel bleak, this realization makes it feel more vivid, more precious, more urgent in the best possible way. We begin to treat our days like the rare treasures they are. We laugh more freely, love more deeply, forgive more quickly. We let go of pettiness and grudges that no longer serve us. We walk lighter because we understand that nothing we are worried about today will last forever. By embracing the temporary nature of all things, we create room inside ourselves for a peace that doesn't depend on clinging, controlling, or fearing. It's a peace that comes from riding the waves of life gracefully, trusting that even when things change, especially when they change, we will still be whole. We will still be ourselves. But this profound letting go, it requires one final essential practice, a practice that can transform even the darkest day into one touched with light. And tied closely to this deep acceptance of life's impermanence is the final master key to lasting peace. It's the practice that can alchemize ordinary moments into gold and hardship into grace. Gratitude. But not the gratitude you're thinking of. Not just a list of things you're thankful for when life is easy. This is gratitude as a weapon, a shield, a light in the absolute darkness. Gratitude is about finding something, anything, to hold on to, even when the ground feels like it is crumbling to dust beneath your feet. It's about the deliberate, courageous shift of your focus away from the gaping hole of what you lack and toward the solid ground of what you have. To see the small, stubborn blessings that weave like golden threads through even the hardest, most painful days. Ask yourself, can you find one? Just one, right now. Gratitude isn't a passive emotion that happens to you. It's a conscious, active way of seeing the world. It means choosing to recognize that no matter how heavy life feels, there are always things worth cherishing. The unwavering kindness of a friend who sits with you in silence. The defiant beauty of a sunrise that paints the sky without asking permission. The simple, staggering miracle of being alive for another day with another chance to get it right. Gratitude invites us to slow down, to truly stop, and notice the gifts that usually rush by completely unnoticed. The warmth of a cup of coffee cupped between your hands. A genuine, belly-deep laugh shared with someone you love. A single moment of quiet in a chaotic world. It reminds us that contentment doesn't come from accumulating more, but from the profound realization of how much we already have. Even in the heart of hardship, gratitude transforms the very fabric of your experience. It helps you see that challenges are not just burdens to bear, but sacred opportunities to grow, to deepen, to learn something new and vital about yourself. A heart rooted in gratitude doesn't collapse under the weight of struggle. It finds strength right there, drawing from the deep, deep well of everything good it has already received. Gratitude turns ordinary days into treasures. It turns setbacks into stepping stones. It turns small, quiet moments into powerful reasons for joy. It recalibrates your entire relationship with life, teaching you to live not with a sense of entitlement, but with a sense of wonder, with radical appreciation. When you practice this kind of gratitude regularly, life stops feeling like a constant, desperate battle to get more and starts feeling like a rich, intricate tapestry. A masterpiece where even the dark, the torn, the imperfect threads have their essential place and their unique, heartbreaking beauty. Gratitude becomes a kind of invisible armor, protecting your inner peace from being shattered by the unpredictable ups and downs of fortune. It elevates you above the noise and the rush, helping you see with crystal clarity that every breath, every heartbeat, every experience, no matter how brief or how challenging, is a gift, a non-refundable gift. Living with gratitude doesn't mean ignoring your pain or pretending everything is perfect. It means refusing to let hardship blind you to the beauty that is always, always present just beneath the surface. It is a conscious, daily choice to treasure what you have while you have it, to thank life even for its trials, and to open yourself to the quiet, profound joy that can be found in every corner of your journey. With every moment you choose gratitude, you are not just building a better day, you are building a better life. A life not based on chasing happiness, but on recognizing it, savoring it, and sharing it wildly until thankfulness becomes as natural to you as breathing, and peace becomes your constant, unshakable companion. And if this feels like a truth you want to carry with you, if this is the mindset shift you've been waiting for, then share this. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let this be your first act of generous gratitude. It is in this practice, this union of steady growth and radical openness to change, that we finally discover a deep and lasting sense of calm, a tranquility that stays with us, anchors us, even when life's storms rage at their fiercest. One of the most important truths we can ever learn is that the journey of personal growth never truly ends. There is no finish line. No matter how much you know, no matter how strong you feel today, there is always more to learn, more to improve, more ways to become a better, wiser, more compassionate version of yourself. Life itself is an endless opportunity for learning. A road that stretches far beyond the horizon you can see, filled with new lessons, fresh challenges, and unexplored horizons waiting just for you. Staying committed to learning and growing isn't about chasing an impossible perfection. It's about refusing to become stagnant. It's about recognizing that every experience, every soaring success, every crushing failure, every quiet moment of peace, and every soul-testing storm has something to teach you if you're willing to pay attention. The path to real inner peace is paved not by standing still, hoping the world will be kind, but by moving forward, even if only by one small, determined step each day. Growth doesn't mean that you stop facing problems. It means that you handle them with more wisdom, more patience, and more strength than you did before. You meet the same devil, but with new eyes. Life is constantly offering us opportunities to evolve, to shed old skins, to become. And the choice is always eternally ours, to resist change and stay stuck in the comfort of what was, or to embrace the unfolding mystery and keep building a stronger, wiser, more resilient self. Every time you choose growth, every time you decide to learn from a mistake instead of being defined by it, Every time you respond to a challenge by stretching yourself, rather than shrinking back in fear, you strengthen your foundation. You become less shaken by life's uncertainties because you know in your bones that no matter what happens, you have the ability to adapt, to understand, to rise again and again. The commitment to lifelong learning becomes your lighthouse during the fiercest storms. It reminds you that no matter how dark or difficult things feel, there is always a way forward. Always a lesson hidden within the chaos, always a new strength being forged in the fires of your experience. Progress isn't about massive overnight leaps. It's about the steady, relentless steps, about choosing to be just a little wiser today than you were yesterday, a little stronger, a little kinder. It's about meeting each new sunrise with humility, knowing you still have galaxies to discover within yourself, and with courage, knowing you are utterly capable of facing them. Life doesn't require you to be perfect. It only asks that you keep moving, keep growing, keep striving toward the best that is within you. Challenges aren't roadblocks meant to stop you. They are stepping stones placed by the universe itself, pushing you higher, helping you uncover glorious, powerful parts of yourself you never would have found if everything had been easy. Every mistake becomes a teacher. Every setback, a chance to grow deeper, stronger roots. And the more you grow, the better you become at handling whatever life brings. Not because the world gets easier, but because you become stronger. In this sacred commitment to growth, you build a steady, lasting kind of inner peace, the kind that doesn't crack under pressure because it is rooted in real, earned strength. You stop being tossed around by life's ups and downs, and you start steering your way through it all with a clear heart and a steady mind. Growth teaches you the ultimate secret, that real peace doesn't come from having a perfect life, but from becoming a person who can stay centered, powerful, and full of love even when life is gloriously, terribly imperfect. In embracing this endless journey of learning, you celebrate not just the victories, but the entire beautiful process, the effort, the persistence, the moments when you fall and choose to rise again. It becomes a joyful pursuit, not a burden, a way of honoring your limitless potential and honoring the gift of life itself. When you live with this mindset, you find that wisdom, calmness, and resilience are not things you are born with or lucky to have. They are things you build, piece by piece, day by day, through the way you choose to live each single precious moment. In a world that often feels noisy, rushed, and uncertain, choosing to keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for inner strength is one of the most powerful and liberating paths you can ever take. By embracing the lessons of resilience, gratitude, acceptance, mindfulness, simplicity, and steady growth, you create a life of deeper peace and greater joy. No matter what storms come your way, you realize that calmness and strength don't depend on everything going right. They are cultivated quietly, patiently, heroically within you, through every challenge you meet, every act of courage you choose, and every step you take on the endless, beautiful journey of becoming. If this has rewired your soul today, if you feel that fire being lit, then pay it forward. Share this with one person who needs this message right now. Be the reason someone else finds their calm. In the end, the journey toward inner peace is not a race to some distant finish line. It is a way of living, a way of seeing, a way of being in the world. It is built quietly in the sacred ordinary through the choices you make each day. To stay calm when it's easier to react, to choose gratitude when it's easier to complain, to seek growth when it's easier to stay comfortable, to accept change when it's easier to cling. To forgive yourself and others when holding on to anger would feel so much more satisfying. True strength isn't loud or boastful. It's the quiet, resilient oak that grows inside you with each challenge you face and each lesson you embrace. True wisdom isn't found in having all the answers. It's found in remaining open, humble, and fiercely willing to keep learning. Life will always bring moments of chaos, moments of uncertainty, moments when you feel completely, utterly lost. But within you, there can be an anchor so steady, so deeply rooted in truth, that no storm, no matter how violent, can ever uproot it. That anchor is built by living intentionally, by embodying the values that truly matter, by focusing with ferocity on what you can control and releasing with grace what you cannot, by appreciating the fleeting, heartbreaking beauty of every moment without trying to chain it to you forever. Each step you take in patience, each act of courage, however small, each decision to choose kindness over bitterness, each moment of mindfulness, you are slowly, steadily, magnificently crafting a life of meaning, resilience, and quiet, unassailable joy. This is the true treasure, the only one that matters. A life where peace is not something you wait for, or hope for, or pray for. It is something you create from within, day after day, choice after choice. And the most beautiful truth of all, it is never, ever too late to begin. Every breath is a fresh invitation to step more fully into the person you were always meant to become. Every sunrise offers you another chance to live with deeper calm, stronger purpose, and greater, more boundless love. No matter where you are right now, no matter what challenges lie ahead, know this: with every fiber of your being, you have within you the power to create a life marked by wisdom, strength, and unshakable inner peace. Not by chasing perfection, but by embracing the beautiful, imperfect, ever-changing, breathtaking journey of growth itself. This wasn't just a message, this was your reminder that the power to be unshakable was inside you all along.